How much has the Iran war had an impact on Donald Trump?
I think it's probably had a pretty negative impact. No one wants to see the Iranian regime in place. Of course, nobody's rooting for that. Um, on the other hand, I think Americans had grown skeptical about sort of foreign policy adventurism, and they'd had a bad taste in their mouth after Iraq and Afghanistan and other conflicts abroad, even Russia, Ukraine. And so, I also think gas prices were a big one. I mean, gas prices jumped a ton for months and months and months. They're coming down now that the Strait of Hormuz is open. But when people feel inflation, which we had headline inflation increase, and that's energy and food costs that are pulled into headline inflation. So that's what people feel. Even if core inflation remains below 3%, what consumers are feeling is that 4.2%. They're feeling the energy and the gas prices. And also people have short-term memories. So we forget that, inflation was 9.1% under Biden at one point. And at that time, gas prices were over $5 because that was 2022 and 2022 was 4 years ago. We care about what's happening now. But I think that it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of just sort of disenchantment with foreign interventionism and high prices at the pump. But again, as I say, politics in 1 week is like a year in politics. So if gas prices continue to come down, inflation gets under control, we could see a lot of surprises come November, come the fall, and that could lean in the Republicans' favor because right now the Democrats are basically leaning on those things. They're leaning on gas prices. They're leaning on inflation because they have nothing else. The stock markets are breaking records every single week, it seems like. We've broken so many records this year, it's hard to keep track. I think there have been over 20 records between the S&P 500 and the Dow and the Nasdaq. So, people's 401ks, people are and their investments are doing very well. I guess the issue for a lot of voters is that many of them aren't the type of people who are able to invest because they're paying their mortgage, they're paying car payments, and they don't have that extra income to invest. And so those are the people that Republicans need to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, though. The Democrats, they'll cling on to anything, and that's all that they've got at this point. But look, a long time between now and November, so anything is certainly possible. Alan Mendenhall, wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your insights. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.